going on, y'all? I'm back. I am a little bit sick, so I'm gonna sound a little bit, nasally. But regardless, we're gonna get this shit done. Today we got another story for y'all. This one's got a little bit of backstory, so I'm gonna try and get through it kind of quick. So this happened while I was in high school. I've graduated since, but it happened in high school. It's weird to say that high school's over. Like, I'm out of high school. I'm sure, like, half of y'all who just graduated are feeling the same way. Like, it never felt like it would end, but it finally did. It's besides the point, though. See, this story has a timeline that stretches pretty long, so I'm kind of trying to find the gap of when this happened. I'd say end of junior year going into senior year. And in my junior year of high school is when I finally started to make a mark on the scene of women. That's about the time when I started dating girls and fucking, doing my thing. Don't know why. I was only interested in gaming up until then, fucking gamer forever. But regardless, my friend was with this girl for a little bit, a couple months, and they ended up breaking up. I'd hung out with them before together, like, just at kickbacks and stuff. So I kind of knew the girl. Upon them breaking up, there was a little bit of gap of time. And then we started talking. I asked my friend who was dating her before for the okay. Like, you're not going to get mad, right? Like, I'm not trying to fuck you over. It's just the way things happened. Obviously, he understood. He was like, yep, go do your thing. I'm done. That's not my business anymore. So this was pretty short-lived, this relationship. Not due to fighting or disagreeing or nothing. It just didn't work out. Shit happens. But we got past the texting each other stage. I ended up going to her house a few times. I didn't get to tap it on this one. Heartbreaking shit. Nevertheless, at the time, obviously, I'm a junior in high school. Fucking, this is the one. She's the one. She wasn't the one. Nope, not the one. We ended up not working out, which is fine. I was a little bit butthurt, but I was like, okay, whatever. Sometimes shit doesn't work out. I come to find out that she left me for a different person, a different dude. Now I'm angry. I knew at the time that it really wasn't her fault. She can't help who she's into. So for some reason, I didn't feel like getting mad at her. Instead, I directed my anger towards this new guy. And for a bit, I really didn't like this dude. Whenever I saw him in the halls, I'd give him the fucking Malouk eye. I wouldn't like him just based on the fact that she picked him over me, which is completely unfair, but it is the way that I felt at the time. Some time passes. They end up going pretty steady for a while, probably about 6 months. Like, for a high school relationship, that's pretty fucking, that's the distance, High school relationships usually last like 2 weeks to a month, like maximum. So I was like, yep, my chances are done. He won, I lost, and I was butthurt. So of course, I get stuck with this guy as my partner for chef's class. When we got assigned our groups, it was me, a friend of mine named, we're gonna call him David, and 2 other guys that I hadn't met yet. And then the final member was, I'm just gonna use his name. No last names, but his name was Austin. So for the first week or so, I really didn't talk to him. I still had those reservations about him that he was an asshole just because he took by a girl, whatever. He wasn't even mine. He obviously stayed with her longer. Didn't make any sense. That's how I thought, though. Every time in class, I was like, I just can't believe that she picked him over me. Come to find out, once I start, hanging out with him in class and stuff and doing projects with him and all that, he's actually a pretty funny dude. Me, him, and David are always joking around in this class. We're fucking with the fryers when we're making like donuts and stuff, and we're flicking hot oil on each other. It's not funny, but it is funny at the same time. When we're washing the plates, we're washing it with fucking water that's 1,000 degrees on purpose, just to make it interesting. Like, oh, wash it quick. There are a lot of times when I would like rip dab pens and shit before I go in that class because it was right after lunch. And for those of y'all that are stupid like me, you know what time it is at lunch. But yeah, throughout the year, I actually became good good friends with this dude. Not like we were hanging outside of school and like chilling all day and shit, but like he was like one of those school friends that you look forward to seeing throughout the day. I was like, oh shit, I get to get into some trouble with Austin and David today. Well, I can't wait to see what the fuck goes down. Now, he was friends with one of the kids who threw most of the parties in my school. Sure, everybody throws their own parties, but this guy was known for throwing parties. Like, this is what he did. And he would tell me stories about these interactions with this kid. He'd also tell me how he'd just pick up cases of beer in Walmart and just walk the fuck out. He was so nice. He even offered. He was like, hey, if you're ever hanging out with me, I'll snatch you a case. What a gentleman. What a fucking gentleman. He was fucking hilarious. He really was. Eventually, things started to get rocky with him and this girl that I was with before. I don't even know what happened. Never asked for details because at that point, I really didn't care. I was over her. Not that I didn't care about the situation that he was in, but I didn't care about what that girl was doing because I was just in a different part of my life. I didn't really care anymore. But sometimes he would vent to me. He'd seem down, and I'd ask him what's wrong, and he'd say, you know, it's just this girl, man, and this and that. And I'd sympathize with him because guess what? I dated her too. And no, there was no mistreatment to me. I don't know about him because I never asked, but she doesn't seem like the type to do that. So, but yeah, we went through a whole year of chef's class, having fun ass times, cooking bomb ass food, getting fried. It was a good time. There was barely any homework in that class. It was just chilling every single day. I loved it. I missed that class a lot. However, I didn't retain any of that fucking information. I do not know how to cook anything. And that was towards the end of the school year, so we kind of lost touch for a little bit after that. Things didn't end up working out. I don't know if they were on a break. I don't even know what happened, but the next time I saw them, they were not together. The next time I saw him was at a house party in the summer that I went to with Alex from my other story. We decided to tag team it, and it turned out to be like, you know, fucking off the chain. I'll probably make a video about that too. So I saw him at this party. He was drinking alone, away from everybody. I felt terrible. I went up and talked to him, and I was asking him, like, I was just talking with him, like, oh, I haven't seen you in a bit, how have you been? And he said that he hasn't been that good. The breakup or whatever, he really misses her, which is completely understandable. I felt for him, man. He's at a party with his friends, and he's drinking alone, just chilling at the bar. Like, it's a sad sight. I hated to see it. So I hung out with him for a bit, and I gave him some company. I let him talk to me, and I'd like to think that I helped maybe a little bit. It's always important to help people when they're in situations like that. Sometimes you don't even need to say anything. Maybe it's just the company that they need. It'll make them feel better. Oh yeah, that after talking to him about that was the last time I saw him. I don't remember how long it was after that, but I do know that was the last time that I spoke with him. He overdosed. He didn't even get to graduate high school. Shit, it broke my heart. It really did. He was a really hardworking kid and a nice dude. Like, sure, he did. He'd steal cases of beer from Walmart, but that's about the worst that I knew that he had done. He told me he'd give me a ride because he was a hardworking dude. He had a truck. And he had, I think it was a Firebird. It was a Pontiac, I know that. He showed me pictures of it. It was pretty fucking cool. And I really did want to ride in it one day. Like, I'm so fucking tight that I didn't get to hang out with him outside of school before this happened. Like, the worst part of it is I was planning on making the pitch, you know, to my friends. You know when you meet somebody new and you want to bring them into the friend group and you're like, guys, listen. This guy, solid. You gotta, like, have a pitch that you gotta bring to your other friends before they're like, okay, let's meet this guy. I was about to do that. Like, I was on the cusp of doing that. I was so ready to start, like, actually chilling with this dude and, like, becoming his, like, actual friend outside of school. But, that was too late, I guess. He just hung with, the wrong crowd. Not all of his friends, but one of them. He ended up taking a pill with him, and I don't know any details of whether it was laced or not. I don't know if it was too big of a dose. I don't know anything. It was said around school and stuff because, you know, no one can be private in high school. Everybody has to know everything. It's fucked. It was going around that it was a Percocet. I don't know what milligram, or if people told me. I don't remember what size it was, what milligrams. But that's what killed him. Him and his friend took them, and then one of them woke up, and the other one didn't. He just got unlucky, I guess. The thing that eats me up whenever I think about him is that I never told him that I wrote him off so early. I never told him how I felt about him before I actually got to meet him. That would be an awkward conversation, you know? Like, hey, I used to hate you, you know? Like, how can you have that conversation? But at the same time, I really wish I did have it, because looking back, I'd like nothing more than to tell him that I was wrong about him. I was so wrong about that kid. It's really a damn shame. I can only imagine what it was like for the people closest to him. I'm only a school friend, and yeah, I did cry over it. It was something that affected me for a while. That's the first time any of my friends, like anybody that I know from school, ever died or was in that serious of a situation. It was always, like, it was never that serious. To just wake up one day and everybody tells you, hey, that guy you've been hanging out with, all that, he died last night. There's no goodbye. There's no last talk with him. It's just, it's over. It's done. They held a service for him, or a funeral. I don't know the vocabulary. I'm half retarded. They had a funeral for him, and a lot of the school showed up. A lot of the school showed up for that. I, however, didn't. I didn't have a car at the time, so I didn't really have a way of getting there. I did want to be there. I really did. And that's where I get to the point of this video. The whole point of me telling this story is for me to tell you it's really important to give people chances. I'm so happy that I gave him that chance. I'm so happy that one day I put my feelings about him aside and I gave him a chance. Even despite the way that our friendship ended, I'm still happy. Oh, this fucking sucks. I'm so happy that I gave him the chance. If I didn't give him a chance, I would have missed out big time. Like I said before, the kid was hilarious, and he was a good person. He just got dealt a bad hand, and that's a sad truth. Is sometimes you just get dealt a bum hand, and you lose. You know? I'm sorry that I made a video like this, in a way. You know? I know it's a bummer, but it's very important to me that I get this message out, because it is very, very important that in this life you give people chances. I'm not talking if someone fucks you over to be like, oh, well, you know, next time you won't. I mean, just when you meet people, just start with a clean slate. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what their past is like until they tell you, if they feel comfortable enough to tell you. That person could be in the same situation as you, and you wouldn't even know it. Maybe the reason why they're being a dick or whatever they're doing to you is because they're dealing with their own shit. But again, I wish I could tell them, man, hey, I'm an idiot. I misjudged you so bad. But I'll never get to tell them. I'll never ever get to tell them that. No shade towards anybody in this story. I know I'm not saying anything bad about anybody, but just in case you think that the girl is the reason why, I doubt that that's the reason why. He liked to party anyways, believe me. My heart goes out to anybody who knew him, because it's like I said before, it's terrible for me, but then again, I'm just a school friend. I can only imagine what family members are feeling. However, I still feel the way that I do. I still miss him too. It really pains me that I didn't tell him how I felt. But he only knew the good side of it. He only knew that I actually did like him, and I could call him a friend. He's somewhere right now, doing his thing, whipping the Firebird. I'm sure he's happy. But yeah, moral of the story, give people a chance, man. You won't regret it. I hope you enjoyed. If it's possible, you know, I know this was a down in the dumps kind of video, but more educational, I'd say. I hope you learned something. That was the whole point, is to push that message. So I hope I succeeded in that. If you haven't already, please leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe. I got a bunch of stories, I got a bunch of gaming videos, I got whatever the fuck you need. Take care, y'all. God bless.